Hey everybody, in this episode of Box Office Breakdown, Bad Samaritan is treated poorly by the moviegoers. We'll break all that down and more next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Box Office Breakdown.
Oh, welcome everybody to the best show on streaming platforms worldwide. I've claimed that right now.
What?
The best show, absolutely.
Best.
The best.
Oh.
The
The
best.
rest show.
The rest show.
The rest, get the heck out of here.
Yes.
Best in the rest.
That's right. Welcome everybody to Box Office Breakdown here on Popcorn Talk. Of course, this is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we... about the box office that lie ahead.
Did he say it? I couldn't even
He did.
hear you. I was going
You
to
guys
keep
hear me?
going forever. That's what I was
You weren't
gonna
that
do.
loud.
Oh,
I didn't
sorry.
hear.
Is that better?
Yes.
Well,
Okay.
I mean,
World's better.
Is that better?
I'm Frank Moran.
I'm Kari Lane.
I'm Amy.
Neil Plumley.
Just only Amy. Today she's
Amy,
given...
because, you know.
She's gotten rid of the other names. She doesn't need them anymore. Just refer to her only as Amy. She's gone.
It's just like Oprah.
She
That's right.
aims not to
Yeah.
waste your time.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And of course, making us look good and sound even better, Anthony in the booth.
I'm trying, Frank. I'm trying.
Well,
Oh,
easy with
sorry.
these three, hard with this.
A lot of people
Right.
don't know this, but his first name is Tony, and his last name is In the Booth.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Fact.
There you
Born
go.
that way.
Dash.
Born this way.
Born
There you
this.
go. Is that Dutch? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
what I thought? And of course, folks, you know what you can do. You can like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up while you're right there, or give it multiple thumbs up. And Kari, if they're watching after the show stream live, what can they do?
Comment down below. You guys have been quiet lately.
Yeah.
There's quite a few videos. It's like one. I'm like, come on, y'all. You talk more normally. So talk a lot in the chat, which is great.
That's right. Of course, we'll have the chat up and running, so feel free to share your thoughts about box office in general, any of the movies that you saw recently this past weekend, or just anything in general as we kind of go along the movie road highway.
That's beautiful.
It's terrible. I said that,
You
and
tried.
it's terrible.
No,
You
it's
tried.
fine.
But first off, let's look back at the weekend that was for our top 5 films.
I'm stoked. I'm ready to go.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's get right into it,
Let's
Neil.
do this.
Yay! Coming in at number 1, surprisingly, it barely squeaked in at number 1 again, and that was Avengers Infinity War. Guys, it had a 56.4% drop, though. Made a measly
Pretty
112.
decent drop. It's kind of big. Bigger than I think we were expecting, because I believe we discussed it last week. We were looking at like 50s, maybe high 40s.
What does this? A 56.4% mean to you, Neil?
What it means to me is that it does have the second highest second weekend of all time behind The Force Awakens, but there's a big gap between what The Force Awakens had in its second weekend and what this has in its second weekend. Of course, analysts all believe that The Force Awakens, no matter how well Infinity War did in the first weekend, Force Awakens would do better in the long run because it didn't have so much competition in the months that followed. While Infinity War has a few more blockbusters coming out in a few weeks, but it's like this week it didn't have a lot of competition, so it's kind of it kind of shows that it's really starting to peter off for this movie here. I don't think it's going to hit that world record total that we thought it would, unless China and Russia do real well for it.
Also, it feels like less of a cultural event than what Black Panther was, and it's not really. It doesn't have that same momentum that we saw with that film alongside with this one, and it's a very interesting thing to really study and look into, because although it's such a massive film, it doesn't have that same driving force that we saw with Black Panther. I just found that interesting.
Well, even the other Marvel movies, like, you don't leave that movie like, I'm pumped, that was awesome, like, because the others are so, like, they're different after you've seen it, you know, and talking about, like, you don't leave with that same energy, I think. So
Well, I think it's a difference between the two films. Black Panther goes a lot deeper.
Yes.
Your mileage may vary about how much you enjoy the film, but I think overall there is a deeper emotional core to that film than you find from Avengers: Infinity War. That is basically you're getting your dessert. You've had like your all your vegetables, everything like that you've had on all the other 19 films, and then boom, here comes the dessert. For some, they may have found it too sweet and they wanted to tap out. But I think maybe when we see the conclusion next year, we'll see how that does when it's a full picture for a story. Maybe that might change how people look back on this film.
Right. Black Panther was very much the marathon that Marvel didn't know it had. where Infinity War is very much a sprint.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're starting to get a little tired.
Yeah, and I also feel like Infinity War didn't have too much to really like ruminate on, while Black Panther had so much to really like go into and like dissect, I believe. At least in my own opinion. Amy, you look a little
I don't agree.
Amy
Really?
dissected
All right,
nothing.
I
in
so
don't
Black
let's-
agree.
Panther.
That's okay. But someone in the chat, Nella J, brings up a good point. She says, I'm sorry, I think that everyone who wanted to see Infinity War more than once saw it last weekend on Thursday through Sunday, which I mean, I feel like we can all agree on that. Maybe,
see that.
you know, like knocked it out 3 times. Do not want to see it again, especially with how it ended. But I loved it. But, you know, like if you wanted to see it, you most likely saw it like at 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night or whatever. You got around to it. And I think that it was so big that now it's going to have a significant drop. But I also agree that you should see it more than once because there's always something to,
I'll watch it again before the next one comes out.
I mean, you can always see it like one more time in the theater.
Yeah.
Hey, well, it's not gonna kill you.
Wait, you know, there's a lot. I think there's a lot to
There's a lot to unpack in that one, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Who here went to the website to find out if Thanos would have killed you?
I did.
And what was everybody's results?
I hope he killed me.
Spared.
Oh, I took it twice.
Oh. What was your first one? That's the one that counts.
The first one, no, he didn't want me. But then he took it back the second time. He was like, you know what? Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it, Amy. I was curious to see if everyone was just getting the same answer of like, no, he didn't want you. I didn't know if it was like a thing that that's the only result you were going to get.
Well, I was spared.
But
so.
exactly. So then I found out, no,
Neil?
he really picks.
Basically,
I'm gone for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And actually, that's the result that I wanted. I didn't want to have to live with the grief of dealing with people being gone. I'm like, you know what? Just let me go. Just take me away. Let me just sit in the void for like a year or two, unknowing about my own presence in space or time, and wait until someone better than me picks me up and brings me back.
oh, look at that.
Yeah. I don't want any part of that
Tony?
that mischief.
Did you do it?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Do you know about it?
I know about
Okay,
it. I
okay.
just don't care enough.
That's fine.
Well, Anthony, your goal while we do this show is to go to that and let us know how you've done.
And tell us before the show's over.
Frank,
Yes.
Okay.
And Amy, I do like that you really star-drewed that.
Heyo.
Why?
Wait, hold on.
Because you
that
flip
was
flop
nice.
between
Yeah.
stuff, and you're like, I'm gonna do both, and like,
Yeah, I'm gonna do both. Also, have you guys tried the whole like, oh no, I don't feel so good? It's an app. Cannot remember what it's called, but you send an image in, or like you choose an image, and then it starts like fading part of you.
You did it, Amy.
That's
I
okay.
did it, of course.
And
So
what
it's,
and what
just
did you have
texting it to
disappear?
people. Huh? Well, it was just me. It was just like, oh, and then I was like, oh no, I don't feel so good.
Oh.
That's pretty exciting. Whatever, call me a nerd. I don't
Anyway.
care.
All right.
Nerd, no. Mortician, maybe.
Oh, well,
Thanks.
good question by Yusuf in the chat. Do you think that MoviePass Only Lane users see movies once affected ticket sales? Because you can't see a movie duplicate now.
I mean,
Probably
Their
not.
new terms and agreement.
I mean, MoviePass did not exist when The Force Awakens was out. That did not stop people from seeing it more than once.
That's true. Because you could buy it and then see it with MoviePass,
people
and that
just
could be your twice.
Saw it again.
Yeah. But I think it's possible. Could affect it a little bit.
Maybe.
Real
Yeah.
quick, this just in. I was spared by Thanos.
Oh.
Tony, you and I survived.
Yeah.
All right.
You two need to
Lift
that's
it up.
great.
bring me back.
Save
I'm
us.
counting on you
I
two.
will.
Or not.
We
like,
will.
I'm going to
whatever.
relax in the void with a
Yes.
margarita
All
and
right.
wait for you guys to get my
Are
ass
we all
back.
in the same?
You're in the soldier.
No, it's
though?
my void.
Like,
It's my void.
okay.
You can have your own void.
Fine.
It's just me. I'm just.
He's in his
Leave me
own
alone.
personal.
Mine has
Yeah,
a
yeah.
nice chandelier.
Oh.
Void adjacent. All right.
Void.
I think you guys are going, it ties into our next title. I think you're going a little overboard.
Oh, blah.
I appreciate that. That was good.
Considering the way we kind of, well, at least me, I did not think this film had a chance at all last
we
week.
all were like, me.
The little movie that could.
Yeah.
And it pulled in 14.7 million at the box office.
Showed
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Right in my face.
Yeah, look
and-
at Amy over
Egg
here
on
like,
my face.
All right. Of course, that was the subject of last week's box office bet. And to go to the results, we're heading over to Neil's box office corner.
Hello, it's me. Welcome to the box office corner. I'm going to tell you the bets and who won and who did not win. One person won. 4 people didn't win. We'll start with the people who didn't win.
Yeah.
Furthest away, the person who will have to go see Overboard the movie in theaters, which just brings me so much joy, is Amy. Cassandra Martinez. She bet she lowballed this movie. She didn't have faith.
I didn't. And I'm sorry.
In Anna Faris and the abduction storyline behind it. And she bet $3 million. Next up was Kari Lane, who bet $6 million. Followed. Don't womp womp so far. Followed shortly behind Tony at 6.5. So you got to womp womp yourself there, bud. There you go.
Okay.
It's like SNL.
Frank Moran almost pulled out a W on this one, but he got the W last week, so I don't feel so bad. He bet $9 million,
I think that.
which leaves myself as the panel winner with a bet of $10 million.
Yay!
Now, I will say, Star Drew was chatting about how he won the bet. To him, I will say, we count the panelists, but we do encourage viewers to bet. But the winners are here or in the booth.
And the losers right here too. So it's fine.
And losers.
You win in my heart, Sergeant.
I'm glad people won. That's great.
All right, so real quick, what do you think? Because none of us really had strong feelings about this film.
No.
What do you think made it succeed to get to 14.7?
Goofy comedy. There hasn't been. Well, Blockers was kind of the last one.
That was good.
Were there other goofy comedies?
Was it just the fact that it was a comedy, or was it some Anna Faris fans going, yeah, I gotta get in on this?
A little bit.
Maybe ex-husband just had a huge weekend, and they're like, oh, stupid Chris Pratt. Let's go to the movies and see Overboard and support our girl.
Or that.
Maybe.
Maybe that. I think it was mostly just brand recognition. I think people understood that it was a remake. Maybe the target audience was people who were aware or fans of the first one, and so then they're like, yeah, I'll go see the next one.
Well, it's also like your choices in the theater this weekend were like, whoa, Infinity War or stuff that's already been out for a while. So it's like something new, that people were not so hesitant to watch, which I'm glad you guys went to the movies. Good for you.
Romantic comedy, too, will specify that.
Yeah, but how many people do you think...
I mean, I have a certain
You're like,
category in my mind
no.
of what a rom-com is, and that's
This is more like comedy with some romance.
There's no Reese Witherspoon in this one.
Exactly, Frank. Thank you.
It's already 2 notches down on the rom-com standard.
I am happy about this win.
I'm happy for them. I'm sad for me.
I mean, I don't know if I'll ever watch this movie, but
Exactly.
Probably not.
I'm happy for it. I dig it.
But
The
Neil,
fact that it's like a Mexican male
Henry.
lead role,
Fair enough. That's true.
Yeah.
alongside a nice American blondie, like
White girl.
yeah, like that's something to say. Came in second place and did more than what people thought it would do. That's a milestone, I think.
Hashtag equality. Hashtag feminism.
that's right. There you go. How many people do you think were like jazzed? Like, oh my gosh, finally, Overboard is getting the remake it deserves. Do you think?
I think a strong percentage of the box office that came in for it.
Apparently.
Who here has seen the original?
I saw
Just
part
me?
of it. I saw part of it.
I know
saw part
nothing about the.
I
Just
saw
me?
like 2 minutes of it in a break room at work once.
Oh, well, that's why you don't understand that.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why I got closest, because
There
I
you
saw
go.
the whole movie and I get it.
I mean, I love myself some Kurt Russell, and I love myself some Kurt Russell hair, but
And
He
Goldie
had the
Hawn,
hair.
hello.
yeah,
Not Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn's fine, but it's Kurt Russell all the way for me.
All right.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But Kurt Russell's
It's like
my
it's like a
boy.
package deal for me,
Star-Lord's dead.
Yeah. Wow.
Also, McCready from The Thing.
Mr. Star.
Oh.
That's my favorite.
All right, coming in at number 3, A Quiet Place from Paramount, another 7.6 million.
Not so quiet.
Ooh. Also at number 4, I Feel Pretty, coming in with 4.9. Rounding out the top 5, Rampage from Warner Brothers, another 4.6. Bad Samaritan, much farther down the list.
How far? How far down?
I think it was number 7.
Did anybody see
I
that?
think it may have been lower.
I didn't get to it, but I am interested.
Yeah, same. I'm interested. I
I
just
love
haven't seen
David.
it.
Yeah, I love David Tennant.
Yeah, I want to see him
didn't
like
get to
play a bad guy, and also the main.
It came, excuse me,
Jessica
number
Jones.
10.
Ooh,
And Tully came in at number 6.
oh, I want to see
So,
Tully.
so much for everybody who's thinking really high on
Yeah,
that
I
Charlize
think there's some
Theron.
people on this table.
That's
Yeah.
my girl.
Like Amy
Did
Cassandra
I?
Martinez was like touting that Charlize Theron.
I was right there with you.
Well, that's surprising. So where are all her friends?
Friends.
Exactly.
Where are the
Oh,
fans?
right.
And the stands, and the fans, and the friends.
Yes.
She's
What
too
Neil
busy.
said.
I don't know.
Why? Like, I don't know. I thought she had a much larger fan base. Surprising things, happened this weekend.
Because it's interesting, because Overboard had 1623 screens, Tully had 1353, Bad Samaritan had 2007, and yet it came in a distant 10th.
That's sad.
I just don't know if the company marketed it properly or they did wrong to not get
Honestly,
a better result.
I personally haven't seen any marketing for Bad Samaritan. I didn't know about this movie until it came up on my horror movie news show that happens every Tuesdays at 4 p.m. by the way, so
Nice.
plug.
Beautiful. Mwah.
But-
Yeah, boy.
Pretty soft plug.
I swear to God, I did not know anything about this movie until Tuesday of last week, and I was like, "What?" And I'm always like trying to get more horror movies on my radar, and I was disappointed in myself. But yeah, I guess the marketing was just horrid for this film. Like I didn't know anything about it.
Well, from everything that I've read, if you love David Tennant and Jessica Jones, you will love him here in Bad Samaritan.
Oh, good.
He chews that scenery up. So, and if you love Geostorm, then this might be the film for you as well too.
And
Good old Dean Devlin, who directed
yeah.
that. Back here again with Bad Samaritan.
Not on the list, but Neil, you saw something now.
I did. I saw Blockers in motion picture theaters this weekend.
What'd you think?
It was really funny. Really funny. I really didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. It was also like really sex positive, which was very refreshing. John Cena's daughter in the movie, I think her name is Kayla. She was amazing.
Loved her.
She was like, I'm going to get what I want, and I'm going to say it out loud. And so that's the whole scene when they're like, they talk about like how they're forming like the little sex pact that they're going to do. The first girl's like, I want to do it because, we've been dating for a while and I think we're in love and, it's time. And she's like, I like that. I'm going to have sex tonight too. I'm going to have sex with that guy. And it was just like, yeah, you are so cool. So, yeah, that was great. And that was actually a really cool movie.
They have, and it's nice too because they like address a few different things and regarding sex and teenagers and even adults too of like not just this is, one way to go about things. I was like, yes, glad
Very
we
cool.
said stuff like that.
Nice.
Not on the list. I saw Searching at Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. So be on the lookout for that. It's coming out in the beginning of August. It's called Searching. Stars John Cho, and it's a thriller, and it was really good. I didn't know much about it. It premiered at Sundance. I didn't get to see it there, and then here I was like, oh, good, I get to see it. So much humor for how much like crazy seriousness is going on. It's a father and daughter, and like she goes missing. And so it's him like looking for her. But the whole movie is told through phones and computer screens. And like that sounds like weird or dumb and you kind of go, oh, I don't know about that. But the beginning of the movie starts with like home videos on a computer. And then it just goes into like using FaceTime and then using chat messenger on the screen and like news coverage. And you forget that you're just looking at screens. But it's just really, really good. So I highly recommend Searching.
Cool.
I do. It's so good.
That sounds good. Like it piques my interest. Just
Well, because it's
hearing
one of
about
those,
it.
there's no movie that like you could really compare it to. And they had a really funny story of they kind of compared it to Unfriended. Like that was the first thing that they're like kind of with formatting.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
That sounds like Unfriended.
Yeah, that's what they started with, but I think they do more multimedia compared to Unfriended, which had a little more like one kind of style. This one has from text messaging to instant messenger to FaceTime to phone calls and like everything, because as the dad's looking and stuff like that. But they tried to pitch to John Cho and he turned him down, and then they like kept going like, no, really, it's hard to explain. Like, and then they locked him down to do it, and it was really good.
Cool.
And he plays the daughter, right?
No.
Yeah.
No, but I interviewed the daughter, I interviewed him, and I interviewed the mom. But the thing about it that was interesting too is they made the big point that like it's a Asian American family, and John Cho was like, I've never seen a thriller movie like that with like a family that looks like mine. But it's one of those like it's just a normal family. Like they don't make it like weird or a big point. It's just like, oh cool, this is a cool family. It was a good thriller that kept you guessing, and some people after didn't get it in terms of didn't guess the end results. There was some of it that I was like, oh, I got some of them, and I was so happy.
Go tell us all of them right now.
No.
Spoilers.
All right.
No. But go check it out.
Yes, Anthony.
Can I just mention real quick?
Yes.
That was a really, really cool something that in the chat, Captain America said that Chris Pratt took the entire cast of Infinity War to go see Overboard.
That's cute.
Right?
Oh, that's cute.
That's nice. That's nice. Warms my heart.
That's why.
Warms my
It made
heart.
14.
Great, because there's a lot of
It's
people
like
in that movie.
155 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like 3,000 cast members.
Yes.
So,
Real quick about international numbers. Basically, they Avengers: Infinity War, they've reached the $1 billion global mark in a record 11 days.
Woo.
And now it's posted an estimated running total of $1.1 million worldwide through Sunday. It has become the number 5 superhero movie of all time globally and has the potential to top the 4 ahead of it, each of which are an MCU title, to become the number 1 film in the genre ever. Currently, 2012's Avengers is the leader at $1,518.8 million. Wow, look at that! Look at that. So,
just look at it.
yeah, Infinity War is overall the number 15 film ever worldwide, and that's before hitting China this coming Friday. Globally, they've overtaken the lifetimes of Captain America: Civil War, The Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight. So look at that. Overseas, the Avengers assembled the second weekend that in looks like-for-like markets reps 54% drop from the $382.7 million opening weekend, which is the number 2 debut ever behind the Fast and Furious. It's playing in a similar pattern to Captain America: Civil War and is currently 67% ahead of that film in the same release markets.
Wow.
Yeah. So maybe internationally, it seems like it's, as you said, it's still got some room to grow with Russia and China in the mix. Rampage, though, still getting a little love. It got another $13.7 million this weekend in 63 markets. Right now, the overseas total is approaching almost $300 million. Currently, it's at $293.1. Globally, it's made $377.9 million. And Ready Player One is still playing overseas. It made $6.3 million this weekend in 56 markets. So that brings the international total to 433.6 and the global tally to 566.7. Look at that.
Wow.
But
Nice.
Before we talk about films coming up, though, we also some hot trailer talk for a second. I know
Yeah.
Neil saw some trailers for some
Yeah.
movies.
I did.
He's ready to blow our minds.
We talked about those on
Fantastic
Horror Movie
looking
News,
trailers.
and so I'm so glad you found those too.
I'm so stoked. I saw both these trailers when my wife and I went and saw Blockers this weekend, which is really weird because this is, it's a rated R comedy, but I really didn't expect to see like rated R well, I'll just tell you these trailers. The first one was Hotel Artemis. Yes. And this trailer really took me by surprise because it starts off with Sterling K. Brown of This Is Us fame as like a bank robber, and it's like Los Angeles 2029. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit of a weird time jump, but I'm behind it. And he does this whole robbery thing. I think he gets like winged or shot or something like that, and then he calls up someone, and it's Jodie Foster. And I'm like, okay, Jodie Foster's in the movie. She runs a hotel, and it's kind of a hotel. It's more like a hospital for criminals. So I'm like, I'm kind of intrigued because it reminds me of like John Wick, how they have whatever that place is
The
called.
Continental?
Yeah.
The Continental. Kind of like that. There's rules they have to abide by. They show like a list of the rules that are placarded on the wall. It's like you can't hurt the other guests. You have to respect the staff, the whole thing. And they show Dave Bautista. And I'm like, okay, this cast is getting pretty stacked. And then they show...
So cool, too.
Yeah. And then they show Sophia Boutella from Kingsman the Secret Service, Sword Legs. And then they show Charlie Day. And I'm like, what is happening? And then it rounds out with Jeff Goldblum. And then I realize it's a tower movie. It's a tower action fight future just kill 'em up movie.
It's
and I'm like,
Artemis.
this looks like so much fun. I couldn't believe it. It started off, like I said, and I was like, okay, cool. It's a bank robbing movie. Sterling K. Brown. That's dope. Okay, whatever. I'll watch it probably. And then it ends up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like it's one of my most excited like movie trailer times of recent time.
I was watching that trailer. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Everything. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for all
It
this.
checked boxes I didn't know
Yes.
that I had. I was like, yeah, okay. It's like the Continental. Okay, so he's in it. Oh my God. Okay, he's in it too. Well, it's just, you know what? I'm in. I'm in like Flynn. I'm really excited.
Yes.
Hotel Artemis. Guys, check out the trailer. It looks dope.
It looks so good. I'm glad they were actually in theaters because I saw both those, this trailer and the one you're about to talk about next, only on YouTube. So that's how I saw them.
Yeah. And
So
I was like,
yay, theater trailers.
oh yeah, it's kind of also really weird because the second one is even more unlikely to play before a comedy movie. It's called Upgrade.
Yes.
It starred, I just forgot his name. John.
I got you. Just
Travolta.
Give me a bit.
We joke that he looks kind of like.
He looks exactly like Tom Hardy.
Knock off Tom Hardy.
He looks like Tom Hardy.
He looks exactly like Tom Hardy, but he's been doing more work in the last 5 years than Tom Hardy has. He's been in like 2 James Franco movies. He was in Prometheus as Numi Rapace's love interest.
Logan Marshall Green.
Logan Marshall Green from South Carolina.
He's also in the Invitation as
Yeah,
well.
he's been in a lot of movies like just recently, not huge ones like Tom Hardy has been, but he's done a lot of work. And he plays this paraplegic, this quadriplegic, who wants to get revenge on the people who hurt him and also killed his wife. And it's also in the future. It's like near future. And this guy comes up and says that he has like a medical upgrade for him. It's this little chip. And it goes onto your spinal cord and it connects, like repairs the connection between your body and your brain so that he can move then. And so then he learns to move again, but he also realizes that the chip is an AI and starts talking to him. And he's like, if you like, they look at the video from the security footage from when the attack happened, and he sees this tattoo, and the AI just finds the guy and gives him the address. So then he goes there to beat this guy up without a plan, and he gets his ass handed to him, and then he has to have the chip take over, and then it's just from that point on, it's just like Agent Smith from the Matrix just fucking this guy up.
The shot where he like comes up from
he does
the ground.
He does the fist on the ground thing.
I love that shot.
But the camera work is so original because it's
so good.
It's horizontal with him, and then he does the fist thing, and the camera tilts up with him. And I'm like, okay, all right, you have my undivided attention
it's so
right now.
And it has comedy too, because he's like, "Does anybody else hear you?" And it's like, "Nope, just you." And then like he goes, I have ninja skills," and the AI is kind of like, "I'm not a ninja."
Yeah, I am not a ninja. Yeah. It looks like a blast. If you have the stomach for it, check out the Red Band trailer, but it's insane. The theatrical trailer is just fine if you just want to get the mood for it. It's called Upgrade. It looks fantastic. Both of those come out in June 1st and June 8th. I don't know which one's which because I just remembered the numbers.
Early in June.
Both pulled up real quick. Upgrade's June 1st.
All right.
Perfect.
Also,
just a few weeks.
Something I wanted to point out too. The director, and he's a director-writer, is Leigh Whannell, who plays. If you guys seen the Insidious movies, he plays Specs, who's part of like that little duo of like ghost hunters. So he's a skinnier one. So he's the actor in that, but he's also directed just one other film, and that was Insidious Chapter 3, which was my favorite Insidious, and I think it's the best Insidious. So he's only directed Insidious Chapter 3, and he's going on to do this film, which looks fantastic. So I can only hope that he is a up-and-coming director, like writer. Like he's more of an established writer than director, but he's making his director like mark on, at least on me personally, and I cannot wait for this film.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. It looks like he has a really good relationship with Jason Blum because the Upgrade's also produced by Blumhouse.
And
Blumhouse Tilt, which I think is their little, like this, like Fox Searchlight of Blumhouse. I guess.
Sky Patterson told me that that's the same studio that also did the Belko Experiment. If you guys remember that.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
True, but I'm just a huge fan of trailers in general, and Upgrade is just intense. It's such a good trailer, really well cut, really good music choice. Watch that trailer.
Yeah, same thing as Hotel Artemis. You're like, yes, check off all these things.
Oh, very nice. I mean, speaking of trailers, like the way there's that scene still in Avengers Infinity War trailer where Cap is holding Thanos. Oh, yeah. It plays so much better in the trailer than it ever does in the film.
Yep.
That moment just does never land quite like it does in the trailer.
That whole moment was almost like watching a train move in slow motion, and I'm like, that's not exactly fun to watch.
Yeah.
It'd be better if it was like, because they did the whole thing in slow-mo, and I'm like, okay, how about we... Like, I get it. It sort of plays like the inevitability of the scene and the inevitability of what's happening. But could we instead see everyone, like, in real time fighting Thanos? Because that would have been great. We saw that before. It was great. Everyone loved it. Can we also see it again? Because it's just more good. It's just more good stuff.
More good.
Also shared with Neil the Teen Titans Go to the Movies trailer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's great.
Have you guys seen it? It looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. I know that this version of Teen Titans is getting a lot of hate, but I'm really pleased that they are 100% self-aware of what they are.
They're so tongue-in-cheek.
It's really
it's
great.
So good.
Yeah. There you go.
How like they're like the Green Lantern comes up like, yeah, I had a movie, but we don't talk about that one anymore.
Aww.
Yeah, it's
room
so
for dessert.
good. They're like, everyone can get their own movie. And it's about Robin who wants to be seen as an actual hero in the Justice League and everything. So it's just really cool. It's like a cool like little funny underdog story. I'm actually looking forward to it.
It should be a good movie.
Yeah.
So coming up, we've got some films coming out next week for next week's box office bet. Those two are going to be Breaking In with Gabrielle Union.
It looks great.
That one actually, that one looks really good.
Yeah, and Billy Burke. There you go. Sure.
Sorry.
And,
I was just because like when acrimony was like that was a thing, and we're just like, see that trailer, I don't get pumped. Breaking In, I'm like, yes, this looks exciting. I totally want to see it. But yeah.
and then Life at the Party with Melissa McCarthy from Warner Brothers.
The trailer, I'm like,
Yeah. You never know which Melissa McCarthy show is going to show up.
Yeah.
If it's Identity Thief Melissa McCarthy, yeah.
Spy, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, then that could be good. Speaking of that lovely lady, we thought we'd make her our little subject of the box office rewind.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Look back at one of the stars.
I always look forward to your little.
Look forward to
the
the what?
rewind sound.
Yeah, the rewind sound.
Look forward to the.
From Melissa McCarthy, coming at number 5 for her was Spy, $29.08 million back in 2015.
I like that movie.
I didn't see
Yeah.
It was fine.
And Jason Statham was fun to watch in there too.
Yeah, I honestly liked it
I would
because
see it just for him.
it was like she was sort of seen as like the bumbling idiot, and she kind of was. But then when she like got her act together, when she was like forced to like be the person that she needed to be, she was just on, and I'm like, okay, that's funny and good for you. Yeah, it's great.
Coming to number 4, Identity Thief. That was a terrible movie.
I skipped it.
I don't like
know
either
if
of those
I
lead
saw
actors.
that.
I'll be honest, I skipped it.
That's the one with her and Jason
Skipped it
Bateman.
on purpose.
Jace the Bateman.
Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman, who I enjoy, but this movie just did neither of them any favors.
Jason's basement.
Yeah.
Number 4, The Heat.
Ugh.
That was,
Oh, I saw that.
I skipped
That's
that
the one
too.
with Sandy.
Yep.
I would see it for her.
That was
Oh,
$39
I
million.
love her.
But it's just like that. She rides that line where she's like the obnoxious bull in the china shop version of her. Ugh, a little of that goes a long way with me. And that he was straddling that line.
I feel like The Heat was Miss Congeniality without the beauty pageant and with 2 characters.
Yeah.
Where the 2 Sandra
love to see
Bullocks were just 2 different characters.
I could see that.
Coming to number 2, The Hangover Part 3 from 2013, 41.6. I got to be honest, I can't remember her in this movie.
Okay, me neither.
I can't
I
remember the
didn't
movie
see
at all.
it.
Uh,
I just saw 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Was
Wait, did I
Spaghetti
see
I was
2? I
pretty
don't even think I saw
drunk when
2.
I saw it.
and then
Good life choices.
Yeah.
I'm sure nobody's surprised about what is number 1. Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters.
McCarthy.
$46 million.
Okay.
I didn't see that one either.
Truth be told, like I enjoyed the movie, but mostly it made me crave the freaking wonton soup that Melissa McCarthy's character craves. So I saw it the second time. I was like, I gotta have wonton soup when I eat this, and I was actually sick when I saw it. So I was like, this is great. So thank you,
Perfect timing.
Melissa McCarthy, for bringing us,
I like that movie.
wonton soup.
I think the biggest thing that bothers me about it is I just wish it would have been a continuation in the original universe.
Yeah.
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 I think there was just too much.
It would have been just fine. Would have fit right in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just too much heavy lifting, making it like its own reimagining of it. And the cameos from the originals were just terrible.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Except for the Ivan Ray meat bust. That was nice.
Yeah, but I mean, like Dan Aykroyd. Oh man, that was just, oof. And Bill Murray, I think, like Ernie Hudson was the only one that came out pretty much unscathed as the uncle at the end. He was like, "All right, yeah, here you go."
Yeah.
That was cool. What did you guys think about Chris Hemsworth?
He was fine. He was good.
Oh, he was good. No, he was very funny in it.
Glasses
Yeah.
thing. Like it's that kind of comedy that unfortunately like I really, really enjoy, where it's pretty stupid. But it's just like, do you guys remember the part where he's scratching his eye and he has
I
glasses
feel like you
on?
want to do the scene for us.
No.
Go ahead, do it all.
No, I don't remember it, but he scratches it and then they're like, what? And he's like, oh no, I don't know. I don't remember, but I just see it's one of those things where you just remember having a good time and you remember those little parts of the movie and you're like, yeah, I could see it again.
Best parts of the movie, I think, were Kate McKinnon
She was great in there too.
just shredding the film up.
Yes.
Real
whole
quick,
time.
on a different note, do you guys hear about like how they spent like so much time and money on these reshoots for this scene where you see at the end where that's rolling in credits, where they're dancing. Chris Hemsworth's dancing. That was supposed to be in the movie, and that was supposed to be a really huge set piece where like there's a ghost that makes people dance or whatever, and it costs millions of dollars to get these reshoots in, and they just used it for that credits. That's how atrocious this film is to me. I hated this film. I hated this film.
But yeah,
no, I just
agree.
hate terrible movies.
I agree. It wasn't.
And also, like
amazing.
the main character, like the only reason Chris Hemsworth was there was to like bash on men, pretty much. Like that's all they're doing to him.
Yeah.
It's like okay, I'm
He did
glad you
great
had a horrid
headshots.
movie too.
Come on.
Then.
Right, but you also have to know like who's producing it and who their audience is, and that was obviously a tongue-in-cheek decision to make Chris Hemsworth like a bimbo, as sort of like a statement to be like men need to deal with that because that's what women deal with all the time. So it was obviously a joke to their expense, which I was totally in for.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Feig has said that he'd still love to do another sequel.
Oh
to this.
well, I don't know if that's.
Oh yeah,
necessary.
he stood by it. He like completely loved it.
Yeah, I would have been so much more jazzed. If we could have had actually Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, maybe you get Bill Murray again, but to come back as the original characters, as they're helping them out on a new mission.
Force Awakens, that shit.
Yes, that would have been so much better.
Like we need to go find
Peter Venkman.
We need to go find Venkman.
Like would it have worked?
He's in hiding. He's on an island. That actually would be pretty good.
It's true.
Yeah.
And they just she just hands the other.
You know what? Let me just call up Pauly Feig and I'll run this by him and see if he likes it.
All right.
Hey yo, Feige.
Feig.
They just
Neil, you're fantastic. That was great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we do our box office breakdown, feel free to start betting away, placing your votes in the chat, about if you'd like to see us bet on Breaking In, which is going to be from Universal on 2,500 screens, or Life of the Party from Warner Brothers and New Line with 3,500 screens. But in the meantime, while you're doing that, we're going to do what we think our top 5 for next week will be.
I don't think I should say what my top 5 is anymore.
Why?
should.
Just because
fact, you're
last
going
week was
first.
so
Do
bad.
it.
Really? All right, let's do this. Okay.
Just don't go overboard.
No. Okay. Infinity War.
Oh yeah, I think we all agree
Really?
on that one.
Really? With Life of the
Really?
Party coming out?
I know. That's gonna
It's
be
on
a close call.
3,500 screens.
It's gonna be life of the box office.
But I feel Life of the Party could surpass Overboard though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And the next thing is though, Life
Also,
of the
wait. This weekend, this one coming up, it's Mother's Day. So both of those are kind of very different, but both of those are mom movies.
Both are mommy. Yeah.
So that's going to be a bigger push to go see movies.
Like, which one are you more likely to take your mom to?
I'm going to try
Breaking In.
Breaking In.
Breaking In for sure. Yeah, she'd love it.
Because yeah.
You
Well,
want your mom cool enough to go to Breaking In,
Yes.
but you feel like you're going to end up at Life of the Party.
No, my mom would like it. She would lean over halfway through and be like, "That's really cool, but I would never do that to save you guys, ever."
I'm so sorry, but no.
Ever. No, I would not. I would just give up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So Infinity War, then.
Infinity War, Breaking In, Life of the Party, Overboard, and Quiet Place.
I can't argue with that one.
Boom.
Okay, I'm doing that, but switching Life of the Party and Breaking In,
Okay.
just to be
Yeah.
positive and hope for the best that people will go to what looks like a better movie.
Whoa, shots
Yeah.
fired.
Dang. As
I'm
you were
gonna keep
saying
it
that,
real,
Kari,
guys. I'm gonna keep it real.
while you were saying that,
Yeah.
I was reading off Courtney's selection, and it was exactly the same as.
Oh,
yours.
I was not even looking.
That's right,
I was
What's
Courtney.
up?
like, did you
Say-
copy this?
No.
That's right, Courtney.
That was
She
weird.
was-
You guys could see I was just looking in here and looking at my phone.
She was
so yeah.
But
intensely
Courtney
looking.
does Breaking In, then Life of the Party, so Courtney and I are on the same team.
Oh, I thought that was.
Oh,
what Kari
never mind.
said. Oh, it was. Oh,
It's
never
Amy.
mind. My dyslexia is
Gosh.
That's
acting
right. Hey.
Oh, but Xavier is.
Oh, that's different.
Different.
It's Quiet Place and Overboard switched.
Yeah.
Neil,
Interesting.
what you got, Neil?
Let's see here. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna hope for the best and say I agree with Amy. With Avengers,
here.
Breaking In, Life
Okay.
of the Party.
No, Life of the Party first.
No,
Breaking In
with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you said Breaking. You said Life of the Party, then Breaking. In.
No, you said that.
Wait, are you going breaking in first?
Yes.
Oh.
You said life of the party first, guys.
Oh,
What
I
does that
meant,
mean?
okay, then.
No, you said life of the party because you
No,
figured...
you were life of the
No,
party.
Yeah,
I
'cause
said
you
the
wanted-
better movie is breaking in.
You said life of the party because you would hope that people would go and
To a
brace
better
their
movie, and that's why I was like, whoa, wait.
No, is that what you heard?
That,
I don't
yes,
know.
that's
Listen,
exactly what we
we
heard.
don't
Someone
even know.
Let
rewind
me
Okay.
just clear this up. I want Breaking In
Yes.
to be in number 2.
Me
Yes.
too.
Same.
That's
Me
where
same.
everyone I think
No, that's
is.
what I
That's what I said.
Guys,
That's we don't
even know.
have to. I mean, we all agree. We just said we all agree. So
We all agree.
Okay.
Avengers, Breaking
Breaking
In,
In,
Life of the Party, Overboard.
Overboard, Quiet
Quiet
Place.
Place.
Yes.
All right.
Fantastic. Now, I mean, the fact that Breaking In is on 1,000 less screens
Yeah.
than Life of the Party, do you feel like that's going to make that more of a difficult climb?
Yes. Of course. Well, yeah.
Yeah,
impossible.
but that.
Not impossible. No.
Okay.
Anything's possible after Overboard got 14.
Yeah, I
So
like it.
I
Xavier
believe
says, Tony, run the tape. Yes, I know, right? Everybody watching this later is going to be like, well, guys, that's what you said.
Guys, obviously.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
What
go.
about you, Frank?
We'll never know, will we?
No, please.
Well, I said it,
I
and then he
agree.
agreed, and then there was
So
the
then we
discrepancy.
all have
yes,
the
we all
same-
exactly agreed.
Until Amy goes back and watches that.
Yes.
It's the Mandela effect.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right. It is time for us to do our box
And breaking
office
in one.
bet. Breaking In. Revenge is a
Right.
Mother.
Praise be. I can't wait to lose this bet.
That's right.
It's a perfect
You know what I'm saying?
I like
Mother's
it.
Day movie.
That's what I mean. Like that one, I'm like, yes, that one looks so cool.
All right.
Mama bear protecting your cubs.
Right?
Nothing
Don't
more
mess with her.
motherly than
It
I thought you
that.
said
Kind of-
cups for a second. And
Don't
I'm
mess
like,
with my
that-
cups.
That dishware is not as important
It's
as her
expensive.
offspring,
No,
my
no,
man.
It kind of reminds me of Kidnapped with
Yeah.
Halle Berry. Not that I saw it, but I saw the trailer.
I heard that was pretty bad.
There you go.
So we got.
I've
get the gist
I've
of
heard
it.
I've heard the title. Not that I've seen it.
The trailer, sir.
I saw a billboard
Guy
for it
Patterson
earlier.
says 10.5. Xavier says 13.5.
That's right. I forgot we got a bet on it.
Guy Patterson says 10.5. A lot of 0.5s, people. All right.
I'm gonna go.
Ken
with
Jack
0.5
says
then.
13. Okay.
All right.
It's a Mother's Day movie.
Again, Gabrielle Union, Billy
Janet
Burke.
Mouse says 12.
Yeah, Gabrielle Union has all like her fans
Dude,
from
I'd say
what's that
break.
one? That show? You know that show? On
Is it-
BET, I believe.
Yeah, it's the show.
That was canceled
I was gonna say no.
recently.
Bring it on. Come on.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go see a
Isn't
movie
it like-
just
Oh,
for
Being
that.
Mary Jane.
Yeah,
she
Being-
has,
that's
yeah, she has all that
Okay,
fandom from
okay,
Being Mary
okay,
Jane.
okay.
They want. I'm sure they want.
Starger
all
says
right, all right, all right,
12.5.
Oh,
Yusuf says 13.5.
You know, I like that number, Starger.
those are two.
I know, so I picked
So
right in the
which
middle.
one? Oh,
I said 12.5.
Oh, I like
but
that
he
number.
said-
All right, I think
Come on,
I'm
Frank.
locked in.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm in. Anthony, lay it on us.
Yeah, I gotta say the average of what Starger provided, 12.5. I'm going with that.
Oh.
All
Okay.
right.
Let me write that down real quick.
Neil with the deal?
That
Deal
is
with the
me.
deal.
deal.
Right here I have a cool 17 million.
Ooh, I like that.
Look, I'm shooting for the roof, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm getting up there.
Yeah.
Amy Cassandra Martinez.
13.5.
Nice.
Ooh.
Everyone's on the 0.5.
I know.
Yeah,
we're
I wanted to jump
influenced.
What's
in.
the deal?
16.5.
Whoa! Coming up close to the roof.
I went low. I went 13.
Wait, am I at the end?
You're at the end, Anthony.
Yes.
Oh
you
boy,
go.
I'm not
It's you and me, mofo.
Wait, what'd
What
you
did
bet?
you say?
17.
Oh, dang. Okay,
So
we're
he's
in
the
polar.
highest, and then
I'm
Frank's
the lowest. I'm
almost
12.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm-
12 point-
Which is fine by
Almost.
me. Almost
Yeah,
is
of
a
course,
great
right,
place
yeah.
to be in.
12.5, 13, 13.5, 16.5, 17.
Yes.
Ooh,
Love
It'll
it.
be
baby.
fun.
It's pretty tight.
I do want to watch that movie though.
Yeah, I know. I'm like,
Yeah.
I wanted to see it anyways.
I'm down
too.
for that.
It's these sort of bets that I'm like, screw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to see it anyway. Forget
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Forget about it. Huh?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this episode of Box Office Breakdown. But you know what? The fun doesn't stop here. It's just getting started.
Never
It keeps going?
It keeps going because
my
you know what?
gosh.
You can like us on Facebook.
Wow.
Give us those 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give it a bunch of thumbs up while you're there. Just thumbs all
Look
over
at
the
those
place there.
thumbs.
And Kari, if they're watching this after we stream live, what question would you like to have them answer on the comment thread?
Which one of those two movies are you seeing for Mother's Day?
And where would they place
Mother's
those
Day
comments?
weekend too. You'll be commenting down below.
Love it. Love it. And if you want to continue the conversation with any of us, even after the show's over, I know that Star Drew and Neil love to have just a nice hearty
Chit chat.
Yes.
Hearty chit chat.
Hearty chit
I love
chat.
how Starju's like, this is how you vote, guys. This is how you bet, guys. I was like, okay,
Nice.
Starju.
I feel good about bets now.
It's one number, Star Drew. It's a
One.
one number bet. It's not a
for
range.
Starju.
Yes.
Not for Starju.
Anthony, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me everywhere at TonyBTony_. I got my little lower third right there for you.
Oh, check it
TonyBTony_
out.
on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, find me.
Oh, look at that. Neil?
Hey, that's me. You can find me and talk to me if you want to on places where people are found at the Neil Plumley. That's TheNeilPlumley. Check it out.
And you guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra.
MTZ.
There you go. You just
Sorry.
did it for No, that's great. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on YouTube. No, that's the same thing. Follow me on Twitter. Whatever. All that jazz. Just find me.
And
Find her online.
She's awesome.
if you're worried, like, hey, should I follow Amy? I don't know. Am I cool enough? Kristian
You
Chenoweth
all
followed Amy
thank you,
Cassandra
you're proud of
Martinez.
that? Yeah.
True.
She's coming
freaking
up,
out.
guys.
I'm freaking out.
It's awesome.
If it's good enough for
Watch her
Kristian
rise to
Chenoweth,
fame.
it's good enough for
Good
you.
enough for the
thank
chins.
With those heels, because
We were. See,
they
go
make
to
a
my
height
Twitter.
joke in
Go
the
to-
video, so you know.
She's my
comment.
home skillet.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And then stay tuned because I'll be posting links on Twitter for my interviews at the opening night red carpet at Los Angeles Asian Pacific Film Festival. Talked with director, producer, and lead actors, except for John Cho wasn't there, unfortunately, because he's working on a movie, for Searching, as well as Leonardo Nam from Westworld. So stay tuned for those interviews.
He's on The Grudge, that's why. John
wait.
Cho. Doing The Grudge, remember?
Oh, well, there's that, yeah.
There you go. I saw Kari working hard, cutting up that content to deliver
Yeah.
it right to your eyeballs later on. Ooh. Yep, I saw that happening. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, or don't. None of these folks do. They're smart.
We do. What you talking
No,
about, Willis?
that's not true.
Yes, we-
At Happy Go Jackie. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us here at Box Office Breakdown. We'll see you back here next Sunday night. Until then, go see some movies.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.